Vitali, what is the difference between it, this, and that? Seems like sort of a simple question. It is a simple question, but it's interesting to explore. What is the difference between it, this, and that? Why would I say it or this or that? When would I use this instead of it? When would I use this instead of that? When would I use it instead of any of the others? Right? Good question. If I don't want to refer to this thing with any reference to its position in relation to me, so I simply want to replace the name of the thing with a word. That's all I want to do, right? I want to replace it with a pronoun. I will use it. And that could be not for only physical things and objects, but for any kind of thing, like a dream. I had a dream last night. It was very scary. I was chased around by a giant spaghetti monster with spaghetti arms, and it was terrifying. So it is the dream, or it might be the spaghetti monster, or it might be my ear, or it might be a thought that I had, or it might be the conversation we had yesterday. It is all it. But notice when I say it, all I'm doing is replacing the name of the noun. I'm replacing dream, spaghetti monster, conversation, ear. That's all it does. That's its function. That's its purpose. So that's why we would use it. But to be clear, we're not creating any sort of connection between position, our position, our closeness to that thing, it, and ourselves. But if we want to create a connection like that, then we would use maybe this or that. Especially if it is near me, right? Where I can point at it with my finger. So the simple one is with objects, right? So if I point to a thing that's very near me, and I want you to know what I'm talking about, I could say it, right? But that's not as useful as saying this is cold. I could say it's cold. I'm talking about it, but I want to I want to suggest that I have it with me, that it's nearby. So I say, this is cold. So while they may mean the same thing, saying it's cold and this is cold, there's a closeness that is created when I use this is cold rather than it is cold, okay? So it is sometimes replaced with this then. But it doesn't have to be a physical thing. It doesn't have to be physically near me. Because let's say, for example, I say this video. Is that a physical thing? Well, no, not really. I'm kind of talking right now. This explanation. So in that way, the closeness is the fact that we're in it now. This explanation, this question, this video, not physical like this coffee, but in the same way close to us or something that we are currently in. This is a very interesting conversation. This is a very good meal. Oh, this is a terrible cold. This is a terrible cold. The cold that I have now, I'm inside of it. This one. Now, I could say it's a bad cold, but this is probably better because I'm inside of it, or it's close to me. So whether it's a physical thing or not, we can use this to create that proximity. That then. That is over there. Now, what's the line between this and that? Well, that's a great question. I recently had, at my book club, we were reading Wittgenstein, and he talks about the word this and the importance of the word this to point to things. But then there's this exploration of what's the line between this and that? And it's not clear. Because that is something that I'm still pointing at. That window, that door. But when does it become this door? Well, if I'm standing right beside it, then I might not say that door, I'll say this door. But if it's a little farther away, I might say that door. Or if there are two doors, and I want to make sure you know the difference between the one beside me and the one farther away, I might say that door, this door. So this is where it gets a little fuzzy, because usually you know what I mean when I say that one, but sometimes you don't, because they kind of go in the middle, and there's a middle area in between them, and you have to just sort of accept that fuzziness in the language. Now, where does that not work? Well, that wouldn't work if you have way over there 3 apples. They're quite far away. And I say, give me that apple. So there are 3 apples, and I want one of them. But my finger is not able to clearly point at one of the 3 because they're close together and they're far away. So if I say, give me that apple, you'll say, which one? Because there are 3. And you can't tell because my finger can't quite point at the different ones, and you can't see the line coming out from my finger like a laser which one I'm pointing at. If I had a laser at the end of my finger, then I could say, give me that apple. And the laser would go on the apple, and you would say, oh, okay. So then what would you do? Well, I would say, give me that apple, which would be a mistake. I should say, give me one of those apples. So that would be a mistake, right? And you would say, which one? And I would say, the one on the right, the one in the middle, the one on the left. Or you would walk over to the apples and you would say, this one? And point at it. That's where this would be useful, because you're right next to it. There it is. This one? No. This one? No. This one? Yes. That would be the one on the left. So if you want to be really clear, just be careful when you use that you're pointing at something, and I know you know that I know that you know that I know that you know what I mean. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. And that it can't be mixed up with something else. And if it can be mixed up with something else, then instead you'll say, give me the apple over there on the left. Give me that apple on the left. Can I have the apple on the left? Or something like that. I hope that, Vitaly, that answers your question. It's a simple one, but it's also a good one. If you guys haven't already done so, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also check out my full courses in the links in the description.